With me now is Adam Hammes. Adam is now, I think, Urban Ambassadors is your group, Adam.
That is correct.
Tell me about Urban Ambassadors and what you guys are working. Certainly, as you know, that we've been working really hard on environmental issues from the city, but you and I have run across each other on so many occasions. But talk to us about Urban Ambassadors.
Well, Urban Ambassadors is a relatively new not-for-profit in Des Moines, in the Drake neighborhood, and our mission is planting the seeds of sustainability. We have been in existence since November, and I've been lucky enough to have you on our show. We actually, one segment of our outreach and education is KFMG 99.1 Green City every Monday morning at 9 a.m., and we actually have all of our shows archived on the website now, so that people can go look at those. But our mission, planting the seeds of sustainability, really is going from our vision, which is to create all cities as solutions to environmental issues and human needs, which is starting here in Des Moines first and kind of creating the model for that. If we can organize, obviously we're not going to be the ones to do it all, but if we can provide a hub of sustainability and connect people to all the resources in the 8 steps that we've identified, then we can be a support and a connector in that sense for all of the greater community, because we do have a lot of great things happening in our city and in other cities, but I think what we didn't want to fall into the trap of having just one job and getting into that niche and not being able to keep the big picture. So we hope to hold that space for all cities, but here in Des Moines first.
Let's talk about that just a little bit, because one of the things that I've worked on for a number of years is trying to figure out how you move from the discussion and trying to educate folks. And then it seems like an awful lot of the people that come to our workshops and our town hall meetings, many of them are already there. But we educate everybody and bring them up to date on a lot of current issue. But how do we move them from that discussion to action?
That is a great question. One we've talked about a lot, because we wrestle with that, because we have 8 steps, as I said, which I'll identify in a second. But if we wanted to give all information on all 8 steps, it would be an encyclopedia. And that's not really our niche. Our niche is to what we feel, especially in Iowa, people are inspired by action. They want to see somebody doing it. And when they know that it's possible, that really switches their perspective. And they're just like, oh, that's what it looks like. It's possible. And actually, that looks preferable. I'd rather have that, or I'd rather have a green building, I'd rather have renewable energy. I just didn't see that it was something I could do.
Well, and also, I'm discovering as I travel around from city to city that certainly in different regions, the problems and the opportunities are different than they may be in Des Moines, Iowa. Let's say Albuquerque, New Mexico's issues are certainly different than ours. And so how do we take that right to somebody's place of business and to their home?
That, again, you're right on track. Local issues, sustainability, I guess I'll say our 8 steps here in a second, I promise, but they're very much a template, and on each page we have a little blurb, there's some education, there's a video, and an action step, but they're non-prescriptive. We're saying trying to reduce waste or have so much of your electricity from renewable, but that opens the door for people locally. And then at the bottom of each page we have local resources, what's working in Des Moines specifically, and that's where we're rolling this out. But we would like to take it to Minneapolis, and you can plug and play local resources. So what's successful here is going to be different than what's successful in New Mexico or on the East Coast. And that way each city has its own kind of menu to choose from, so that people can see what's available, what works here. Because we'll have a green building group, we do center on sustainable communities, and they'll know what's really good for Iowa or for our climate or for our region. And if we can get those local aspects into this template and make it general enough that we can take it from each place to place and just plug and play information. And then we have projects as well that we go out and really try to inspire people by. Our 8 steps are in this order for a reason, because we want people to see that there's a way to kind of travel this path and save money first and invest that in future investments like renewable energy, because that costs more money, but also finding the local things to find funding. So we have financial security, just getting people jobs, education, and training that they need as a solid foundation. Civic engagement, which we've been going through on our radio station, had some really great groups. I just came from one this morning recording a show, plugging people into their community first, because a lot of people don't realize there's so much going on. And I have complaints and people have complaints, but we usually complain from our couch instead of going out, getting involved and seeing some people are working on this issue. It's not going to happen overnight, and if we'd stop complaining from the couch, and if we get out there, we could join those people that are working on what we care about. And that as the next foundation for your generally eco-friendly things, which is zero waste. You can save money by reducing your waste and composting. Invest that in alternative transportation, which is next. Ride your bike, take the bus. We have a pretty great system for Iowa, and it's getting better. Save that money in your gas and your transportation costs. Green building, save money in your electricity and heating bills, and then move into renewable energy, because you've already reduced with your green building efforts, you've already reduced how much your bills are. So try to compensate that with some renewable energy, whether it's credits or, I don't know if we can have wind in the city, but some solar panels, and then move into alternative